My character, Maddie, is the print journalist. I found it less intimidating and more exciting challenge. I found speaking with women journalists about Sierra Leone and conflict diamonds very moving, and I found it to be a really open community, this community of women writers. So I very quickly stopped feeling intimidated and became just incredibly intrigued by these women who are just sort of such superpowers in terms of intelligence and knowledge.
Smuggler?
Am I?
Somehow you don't strike me as the UNICEF type.
How about soldier of fortune? Or is that too much of a cliche?
Diamonds?
If I told you I was a missionary.
For Van de Kapp?
Kind of also incredibly feisty.
Okay, just to clarify, not all American girls want a storybook wedding, just like not all Africans kill each other as a way of life. And yeah, it's a shit world, but you know what? Good things are done every day. Just apparently not by you.
Some of them quite wild women, really into the adventure of it, but also doing very serious work. So it became really fun for me.
I've met a bunch of these women over the years. They're very compelling. There's something quite independent and fierce about them, and also a little bit sad at times that they've been in search of something at a pitch of excitement.
So you're an action junkie, huh?
3 out of 5 ex-boyfriends recently polled say I prefer to be in a constant state of crisis.
And there is something very seductive about that level of intensity that keeps drawing people back.
I know that more and more there are these group of very highly respected women who are traveling to these war-torn territories and doing incredible work. So I think they've come to earn a lot of respect. But it seems that everyone knows everyone else.
Listen, I'm looking for someone, an American by the name of Maddie Bowen. If you saw her, you would not forget it.
I don't know that.
Is it?
No.
Listen, can you tell her Danny Archer's looking for? I've got the story she wants.
Okay, but I'm going out for a bit. If I see her before, then I'll tell her, yeah.
Huh? Magic.
I think that the people who do their jobs well are pretty much respected. And it seems to me that everyone knows who the kind of top cats in their field are.
Your friend Maddie, she's like a full-on heat-seeking missile, bro.
Yeah?
I mean, I saw her going to Afghanistan. Huh? When the military said no, she just took a bus, bro.
She really wanted to portray this character as a really, you know, sincerely an individual that goes into these war-torn countries as a journalist and is not afraid to put her own life on the line to tell these very real stories. And I think the conflict that her character deals with in a lot of ways is, what is it all for?
So here I've got dead mothers, I've got severed limbs, but it's nothing new. And it might be enough to make some people cry if they read it, maybe even write a check. But it's not going to be enough to make it stop.
I think she's faced with what's going to impact the public to actually do something about it. And of course she gets involved in these human beings' lives, which is, I'm sure, what it's like for, you know, most journalists in those positions.
A lot of journalists spoke about how hard it is to keep under control the urge to help or do something to affect a change more immediately.
Come on, come on!
Move! Let's go, Jack! Let's go! Get it, get it!
Let me in.
Let them on the bus!
You give him your seat!
Let them on the bus!
Being a journalist is difficult. I think one of the problems with being a journalist today, especially in America, the corporate control of news divisions is way stronger than it ever was before. And so if you're in Africa and you're covering these things, in some sense you know that the things you have to say are going to be subject to the marketing needs of the news directors. And I'm sure that adds to the cynicism of these journalists.
Nothing like it'll bang bang if their hearts die then, Maddie.
Whatever you say, Corporal.
Come on, love, don't be like that. Story's played out, hasn't it? Government bad, rebels worse. No one gives a toss anymore. Know what I mean?
It's a very particular time, even today, as we heard of, 2 more journalists having died in Iraq. Someone told me that I think the total of journalists now having been lost in that conflict is up to 70. These are people who are indeed putting themselves on the line and who are not there in any vain or any frivolous way.